afternoon conference, Prynhawn da Nghynhadledd. I've been impressed lately with the I Back Plaid campaign, but I've struggled to get my reasons for backing Plaid into 140 characters for a tweet. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to spend 10 minutes on it. I back Plaid because my head and my heart tell me that a vote for Plaid is a vote to secure the prosperity of Wales and her people. Firstly, my reasons from the heart. I have been a member for Plaid Cymru for over 20 years, and I'm sure there are some of you who are thinking, oh no, not another Pritchard from Oakdale. But I think it's fair to say that being Alan Pritchard's daughter, Plaid Cymru was going to be in my blood from a very young age. My childhood memories are full of wonderful times with many of the people in this room, and some who are not. I remember the Plaid family get-togethers were never complete without the Criddle clan. I remember as a child that Helen Mary was the only person I was willing to speak Welsh to. I remember anti-Trident marches, anti-Thatcher protests, and I remember trying to explain to my school friends why my dad had been arrested for not paying his poll tax. But this family continues. My children only know Phil Bevan as naughty Phil Bevan, and whenever they see Jocelyn on the telly, it's Mammy's big boss, and they still refer to Lindsay as Grampy's BFF, best friend forever. I back Plaid as I would back my family, as Plaid has backed me even through the passing of my father. But to back Plaid purely because of history would be to follow blindly, and my head must agree with my heart. I back Plaid Cymru because nothing short of Home Rule will suffice. Welsh law by a Welsh government to reflect the will of the Welsh people. And I know that Plaid Cymru is the only party that can deliver this, because we're the only party that represents Wales and her people. It is very likely that after the election in May this year, Plaid Cymru will hold the balance of power, and we will use this opportunity to get the best possible deal for Wales, because Plaid Cymru is the only party that's in a position to do so. And why? Because we're the only party that puts Wales first every time, and we are the only party that isn't ruled from London. But what exactly would a vote for Plaid Cymru give to Wales? Well, a vote for Plaid Cymru is a vote for 50,000 jobs. By creating 50,000 jobs, we can get Wales working again. The Welsh public sector spends £4.3 billion each year buying goods and services from the private sector, which supports 98,000 jobs. Only 52% of that is spent in Wales. Compare that to Germany, who spends 99%, and France, who spend 98%. It is vital that we spend as much money as possible of the taxpayers' money supporting Welsh businesses. An excellent example can be seen with the Plaid-run Gwynedd Council, who buys 100% of its school meals from companies within Gwynedd and the surrounding areas. A Plaid Cymru government would legislate to make it mandatory for public sector organisations to follow policy on procurement, and would put a duty on government to aim to add 25% to the current 52%, which, according to the Welsh Government's own procurement department, would create 50,000 new jobs. And it's incredible to think that this policy would be cost neutral. The money is already being spent. A vote for Plaid Cymru is a vote for Welsh business. 99% of all businesses in Wales are small to medium-sized enterprises. 99%. So it's vital that we support our SMEs to ensure economic growth and ensure it reaches all parts of Wales. Business rates are a real burden on profitability and the viability of SMEs. I have seen this firsthand in Merthyr Tydfil. A carpet business, Ruggers Carpets in Merthyr Town Centre, spends £500 a week in business rates. It leaves little to no profit margin for that company. Reducing the burden will free up cash flow, enabling small businesses to invest in themselves to expand and create employment. Plaid Cymru would extend the small business rate relief scheme to help businesses with a rateable value of £15,000 or less. 83,000 businesses would benefit, and more than 70,000 would be taken out of business rates altogether. Earlier this year, Plaid Cymru published a Freedom of Information request, which revealed that more than 3,000 businesses with a rateable value of under £10,000 had liability orders issued against them for non-payment of orders in the past 3 years. They are among the 70,000 businesses that would be taken out of the system altogether under Plaid Cymru's plans. The Welsh Government have let these businesses down. Labour have continually voted against expanding the small business rate relief scheme to cover more businesses, even though they have the power to do so. Plaid Cymru are the only party committed to helping SMEs. The Liberal Democrats have not explicitly published any of their own plans on business rates, and the Conservatives want to cut business rates rather than extend the rate relief system. Our priority is strengthening the Welsh economy so we can create a stronger, more confident future. We want a Wales that can stand on her own 2 feet. A vote for Plaid Cymru is a vote for our NHS and a vote for 1,000 extra doctors. As Dr. Di Lloyd put it, we need more worker bees on the ground. The protection of the NHS is an issue very close to my heart. After nursing Dad at home through his final weeks of cancer, I can tell you that it's the worker bees that are the heart and soul of the NHS, and we need more of them. Mae llawer o gwasanaethau iechyd yn agos at chwalu oherwydd pwysau ar staff. Does dim digon o feddygon I gyflwyno gwasanaethau yn ddiogel. Mae hyn yn wir hefyd am ofal sylfaenol, lle mae hyd at 40% o feddygon teulu yn agos at ymddeol mewn rhai ardaloedd, ac ardaloedd eraill yn gweld gwasanaethau meddygon teulu yn cau. Mae problemau recriwtio hefyd yn peri I feddygon sydd mewn gwaith gael ei gorweithio, gan gau allan amser hyfforddi a gostwng ysbryd pobl. Os dechreuon fynd i'r afal ar materion hyn, byddwn yn creu cylch cadarnhaol o ddenu mwy o feddygon. Does dim un ateb gwirthiol fydd yn datrys yr argyfyngau recriwtio, ond o'r ysym wedi'n cynnig amrywiaeth o bolisiau, fydd oll yn cyfrannu at gael 1,000 o feddygon. Mae'n polisiau recriwtio meddygon yn cynnwys cymhellion ariannol, megis cynllun bond I dalu benthyciadau myfyrwyr yn gyfnewid am warant o wasanaeth. Cyflogau uniongyrchol I ddenu meddygon teulu I ardaloedd lle mae recriwtio yn anodd. Defnyddio'r EU I gau bylchau yn y tymor byr, rhywbeth mae byrdda iechyd wedi bod yn warthus o araf I wneud. A fydd soddi dros y tymor hir yn ein hysgolion meddygol I greu meddygon o gartref. Mae creu 1,000 o feddygon ychwanegol yn bosibilrwydd. Mae gan yr Alban 50% yn fwy o feddygon teulu y pen na Chymru, sy'n dangos fod modd o gwneud hyn. Un ffordd mae Plaid Cymru'n bwriadu dalu am hyn yw'r treth ar ddiodydd llawn siwgr, ond hefyd mae Plaid Cymru yn bwriadu dalu am hyn mewn llawer o ffordd. Mae'r gwariant ar staff meddygol asiantaeth yn yr NHS ar hyn o bryd dros 100 miliwn bunnoedd y flwyddyn. Bil aeth I lawr sylweddol pan fydd yn rhoi staff parhaol yn lle meddygon locwm. Neu beth am NHS di bapur I leihau biwrocratiaeth a chostau gwynyddol, neu dod ag arian ymchwil I mewn i'r gwasanaeth. Mae Plaid Cymru wedi sylweddoli, mae rhaid canolbwyntio ar gael llawer o welliannau ymylol yn hytrach na mynd ar un ateb mawr. Does dim un ateb mawr. A vote for Plaid Cymru is a vote against another 5 years of cruel, unfair and disastrous cuts. Despite 5 years of austerity, the UK government has failed to meet most of its financial objectives. Instead of eliminating the deficit by April 2015, we have a deficit of around £100 billion. The IMF forecast the deficit this year to be 5.3% worse than any other European country other than Spain. The ratio for France, Italy and Greece is likely to be half of that of the UK. The UK government warned us that without austerity, the UK's credit rating would be downgraded. Well, this has happened anyway. And we face another 5 years of cuts. And many expect that the deficit will still not have been eliminated. It's not working. Plaid Cymru will invest in infrastructure, such as roads, rail and broadband to boost employment and the construction industry, and to help make the economy more efficient. We have advocated such an approach since the 2010 Build for Wales, and the IMF is now calling for a similar approach as a way of stimulating the economy. Also, Plaid Cymru advocates devoting an additional 1% of GDP to investment. This is around £16 billion a year across the UK, and worth £750 million to Wales. Also, a vote for Plaid Cymru would be a vote for an additional £1.2 billion. With Barnet now enshrined as the preferred formula for allocating resources to devolved administrations, Plaid Cymru has identified a much larger gap between what Wales receives and what it would receive if it was funded to the same level as Scotland. There can be no justification for Wales, with its weaker economy and therefore greater need than Scotland, to be discriminated against. However, Wales continues to receive over £400 per head less in funding than what Scotland receives, despite our needs being far greater. Plaid Cymru has called for the Barnett formula, which is completely unfair towards Wales, to be scrapped in favour of fairer funding. It was only because Plaid Cymru was in coalition with Labour in the One Wales government that the Holtham Commission was established and has become universally recognised as saying Wales is underfunded. Drawing on the work of the Holtham Commission, Plaid Cymru has calculated that Wales should receive an extra £1.2 billion. Just think of what we could do with that money. 6 new hospitals, or 32 new secondary schools, 52,000 extra nurses, or 28,000 senior teachers. Therefore, a vote for Plaid Cymru is a vote for Wales to get the same funding deal as Scotland, as well as the same powers. The way Scotland is funded is subject to change as the Scotland Act is implemented, and Plaid Cymru's position on any further change is that such changes should be made available for Wales. Parity with Scotland in terms of funding and powers is vital. Wales must stop receiving third-grade devolution. There can be no justification for Wales to be discriminated against. It's time that Wales was treated like an equal partner in a family of nations. Plaid Cymru are the only party calling for parity with Scotland in terms of what we receive per capita for the set of services devolved to Wales. We are the only party who will fight for the same deal on powers as funding as Scotland, and Plaid Cymru knows that Wales cannot be left behind. I back Plaid Cymru because Plaid Cymru have the vision to strengthen Wales's economy with real policies. We have the right to be a nation among equals. Wales is strong when Plaid Cymru is strong. We can stand Wales on her own 2 feet so that she is shoulder to shoulder, not only with the rest of the UK, but with Europe and the world. Wales does not have to be poor. It is not inevitable that our economy is weak. We will not accept that this is as good as it gets. I back Plaid because a vote for Plaid Cymru is a vote for Wales, a vote for her people, and a vote for our future. Diolch yn fawr.